Hi, welcome to our reading for all astrological signs for the end of November 2016. So November 21st through the 30th. Remember, it's a general reading, so see what feels right for you. See which signs, symbols, bells, whistles, messages, energies resonate for you and bring you clarity to what you're wondering, concerned, confused, inquiring, dreaming, praying about. We're all children of God. We're all psychic. We're not all going through the same thing at the same time, at the same pace. So see what feels right for you. It could be one sign, and that brings you clarity. It could be the whole reading. It could make sense later. In the end, always use your logic and intuition together to make sound decisions based in love for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. See how it feels for you. How you ride these energetic waves that come through here is always up to you. Is it your wave? Is it not your wave? Are you waiting for another wave, preparing for that wave, crashing into the wave, riding the wave, or ignoring the wave? Also, feel free to make this an interactive video with me if you want to pull some cards for yourself. And if you have some time, try to check out the links I provide below. Check out the music, show your love and support to the artists and musicians, and see if there's more depth and clarity for this reading for you in those links below. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. I'll see. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome. This is our reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising for the end of November 2016. So November 21st through the 30th. Let's begin with the Life Purpose Oracle cards and see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, or Higher Self, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Start with one card for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising for the end of November 2016. Career change. That's pretty big, Sag. You're embarking upon a career that brings you the joy and abundance you desire and deserve. Does that sound like where you are now? Does it sound like where you want to go? So does this resonate for you? You know, is there something not working for you, in the past, where you are now? And do you feel a big wave a-coming? There's this lighthouse. There's like, something shining just for you, Sagittarius. It's like, you were by the rocks, on your ship, and just in the nick of time, that light comes on to point you a different way, to take you around the rocks, to lead you through the storm, to just hang out in the water until the storm is over and then land, go to shore, seize your opportunity, take a step on something solid, something different. I feel like it's pretty big. I felt like with a couple other signs, they had like career splits or like something coming on board with what they're doing, or like starting to do another job as they continued the one they were in, but sort of feeling out both. And I feel like for you, it's a big change. It's a big, like, off and on. Perhaps you say yes to something first and then, put in your notice. I would say if that comes about and something big comes through, a job that you sort of were waiting to hear about, or perhaps you applied for a while ago, comes back through, or I'm even getting, Sagittarius, something that you interviewed like earlier for, and it's not really the same job that's available, but the same person that interviewed you that's bringing you on board with another job, a show, a gig, or like they're branching off and doing something personal and they want to bring you along, like a side business. But you're a big part I hear partner. So maybe becoming partners with somebody. I feel like it's somewhere at home. You know, maybe something out of your home, or like, you know, I feel like this is like a summer home or like a vacation home or something off season. So maybe you're planning something for an off season time, or you're planning some time off so you can do something pretty big. But I really feel like whatever this is, you're leaving something behind. You know, you're leaving something rocky behind, and you're heading towards the light. And I'm thinking of the staircase and the spiral and a feminine energy moving up. So looking at every side of the situation, weighing all of your options, perhaps before you make the big decision. But I feel like, you know inside of you if it's right for you. I feel like whatever you went through before has, you know, opened the door, and now you're on your way up. Perhaps you were stuck before, Sagittarius. Wherever you were, there was like no way to get farther, or not, you know, no way to sort of like, you could only go so far kind of thing. And now there's a way to bust the ceiling. You know, I see you going up and looking at all sides of a situation, you know, so you understand every perspective of that environment. And you're heading towards like this light, almost like you're turning it on too. And I don't know, like as soon as you make it to the top and turn on the lantern, you're also a light for others or customers or clients, or yeah, something like that comes in once this like spiral progression starts for you. But it's a different direction than before. Perhaps you were like this on the ground, you know, like a merry-go-round, kind of doing your thing, you know, always sort of getting something done, a good cycle, but not really anything extra coming in. And this is that chance for something extra to come in. So I feel like, you know, the right option for you. I feel like you're still weighing something out, but I feel like there's multiple options somehow. So see which option can bring you, you know, the greatest heights, the most ability to grow, to gain skills, even if it's not necessarily more money, but you get way more skills or better connections, or the chance to bring that profit or that income in later, even if it takes a little extra work in the beginning to get up the stairs. You know, you're getting your butt muscles ready to, you know, make that climb easier next time. So let's get more clarity for Sagittarius on career change. I see it like by the beach, and I think of salt, and I think of salt as cleansing and clearing toxins and charging energy, like holding a charge, even memory. So like cleansing out, even if it's just your same career, but there's a big cleanse somewhere. You know, there's a big, like, even if it's just the office and like clearing out the clutter, the closets, clearing space, changing things around so that there can be growth and flow. And I feel like you're bringing something home. You're taking time off to go on vacation more. You're bringing more balance somewhere by this change. So maybe you didn't have enough time to even go on vacation before. Maybe you already spent that time, Sagittarius, to have that rough, you know, few flights up the stairs, and now you got the good muscles going on so you can, you know, bust through the ceiling now. So let's get another card for Sagittarius for November and that's divine guidance. So, all right, you can look at this card different ways. It's the Hierophant. It's a major arcana. It's a major change. I feel like it definitely relates to Sagittarius because it's putting some kind of structure to the spiritual side of life that doesn't really make sense and doesn't have structure. So sometimes for it to be understood, it needs some kind of structure, whereas the High Priestess, which is number 2 and then major arcana, is hard to explain, hard to put into words. You know, everything is behind the veil or hidden. So this is the part of spirituality that's spoken, or it's like institutions, schools, colleges, church, marriage, union. It's God's presence in a situation, you know, having that divine union in yourself and in everything that you do, having integrity, you know, with your decisions and where you are and within the unions you hold, whether that's in yourself or you and your marriage, one other person, or your job. You know, the rules you have to follow at your job or the dress code at your school. The things that, you know, need structure in order for there not to be chaos, you know. But sometimes you realize that you're involved in a structure that's not good for you anymore and it's time to bust out. So the Hierophant is either following along with a group, you know, a structure that works for you and brings you, like, it could just be like education, but I feel like it's always somehow spiritual. It's a spiritual change or change. It opens your mind somewhere. It expands your mind somehow. So you have to always have an open mind with this so you don't get closed in one specific way of doing something. And if there's a better solution that comes in, you don't see it or accept it because you only saw one way of doing something. So even within a marriage, you know, perhaps when you get married, what's good the first year might not be the same for the two of you 3 years down the line, 7 years down the line, after the 7-year itch, you know. And then how about 15 years? How about 30? How about within that same job? Was it good in the beginning when you started it? Is that the same now? You know, or have the rules changed inside of you? Have you expanded somewhere and what's good for you now is not the same as when you were a kid or when you started or last week, you know? So this is either finding the group that works for you, the like minds that you work with, or deciding to leave something and go out on your own to find something that suits you better. You know, a relationship that suits you better, a job that suits you better, whatever it is. But it's finding a structure that works for you, you know? And you have to be adaptable to that changing within your life, within, you know, time, circumstances. If you're in a job or, you know, and then something new is thrown into the mix, it's going to change how you felt from before because now there's something different. There's a variable. So that, does that change how you feel? These are the questions you have to ask yourself. This is the search for meaning in life. Consider an alternative approach and surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. 5, divine guidance, Archangel Sandalphon. I feel like there's definitely guidance and companionship, protection here. You know, something to walk through, a doorway, but sometimes you have to leave that box of protection and open up something else or take a walk and see if there's something else out there that changes the way you feel when you walk back. Yes. All right, let's get another card for Sagittarius on divine guidance. It's understanding the divine guidance that you get and what resonates for you. Discerning the nuggets of bullshit from the stuff that really, really, really feels right. And, you know, there's there's divine guidance everywhere in nature, in different religions, within, you know, different teachers, your friends, your parents, your experiences. So however it comes through for you and how you have consciousness over it and how you learn what to keep and what to get rid of. I feel like there's probably, even in, I want to say scary things, or like maybe something that you didn't want to read before, or something that was, you know, outside of your box of reality perception, you didn't know about it, and something that seems, you know, like totally obscure and crazy for you or someone else. If there's, I feel like no matter how crazy it is, if there's people that are drawn to it, there's probably nuggets of wisdom in there. And that's what people are drawn to. It's almost like propaganda. You know, if you have a little bit of good, juicy truth in something, in a story or whatnot, and then a little bullshit, a lot of bullshit, that little nugget of truth is what people want to latch onto because they feel that it is the truth. The discernment goes awry when they attach onto all the other shit that's actually bullshit too. You know, and you have to go for the opposite. So you don't want to attach onto everything and assume everything is bullshit when there could be a little bit of beautiful truth in there too. So this is finding that discernment in you, Sagittarius. You know, no one is perfect. So even if somebody has a lot of wisdom, everybody fucks up pretty much. Excuse my language. My mother would not approve of me saying that. Sometimes things slip out. So let's continue, Sagittarius. After divine guidance, we're all human, you know? So number 5, this is allowing change. 5 is change. And then you have career change. You know, it could be just things in your day that change how you feel about what you want to do with what you put your time into, and that makes your career. Not necessarily looking for a new career, but putting that love into something that you love and finding out it could be a career. You know, like an accident, like a beautiful miracle accident for you. All right, let's get a card. This is a brand new deck. It's called the Deviant Moon. So let's get a card for Sagittarius. And that's the King of Pentacles. So maybe you have Earth in your chart, or this is somebody you know, prominent at the end of the month for you, Sag. I would feel like it's a male energy, or that male energy in you to, you know, move forward and do something. But it could be a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy. He's big. He's grounded. He's solid. I would say like, hard. It's like he's wearing this heavy armor. He looks heavy and almost like there's steam coming out of his head, you know? So it's like the engine is running all the time. I think of like a locomotive or like a tugboat or something, like energy, you know, that solid little powerful energy that doesn't stop. It just keeps going. But King of Pentacles is understanding how to make your environment wealthy. It's also, you know, this could be somebody around you helping you out, you know, giving you that big, huge nugget of wisdom that you can plant and hold and like have abundance with later. You know how to hold on to this, or he does at least. He knows how to make something out of nothing. The King of Pentacles like takes care of his family, is the provider. I would say he even goes out on the weekends. She goes out on weekends and hangs out with his kids, her kids, you know, goes to the ball game, but works hard, helps with homework, is hands-on, like hands-on. Perhaps speaks, but I feel like wants to show you how to do it kind of thing, and teaches. But I feel like the teacher that like, okay, you do it now, you do it now, you do it now. And perhaps relentless a little bit, maybe a little bit too powerful, maybe a little bit too materialistic sometimes. maybe a little too focused on working sometimes, and maybe not enough of the ball games. But you have to look at this both ways. He learns to have balance in his life that brings solid structure, you know, in your surroundings, your home, your security, your future. He learns from his mistakes and he doesn't mess up again. You know, he figures out a solution and tries it out until it works. I see a clock on his head, so maybe always on the go or always on time, or something about time being on time. But I feel like it's funny. I look at the armor, and then this reminds me of like a leather kilt for some reason. And I feel like there's a factory behind him. So, you know, there's work. You know, this is somebody you know at work, or somebody helping you get to work, or you getting to work. You know, putting that earthy, grounded, you know, like assembly line, making it happen. Like, let's go on with the next, on with the next. I'm getting you making stuff happen. So, I don't know. I see you like gathering ideas here with the Hierophant, like nuggets of wisdom from the past jobs you've had, or past relationships, or something that you're bringing with you somehow, or you know what to bring with you to get the ball rolling, to get this job to work now. I feel like whatever that assembly line thing was what you were figuring out here that works, maybe with one other person, and you within yourself, you know, your own rhythm, or you and others, and you're bringing that wisdom with you, either alone or to a different environment. I feel like for some of you, you were in an environment that there was like, they didn't do things right. Like, you just saw that they didn't do things right, and it was bothering you. Like, you just like, why don't you do it like this? And they just did it their way, and it wasn't working, and like, you're frustrated. That's what I feel. So maybe you're taking, you know, the things you figured out that didn't work there and doing it your way somewhere where you can do it your way, you know? So you're stubborn here. So maybe there was someone stubborn, or maybe that was someone at your old job, and you're leaving this heavy thing behind, and, you know, using your divine guidance to go up that staircase and bust the ceiling out of this factory somehow. All right, let's go to the last deck I have. This is also new. It's the Oracle of Visions by Ciro Michetti. I'm really liking it. So let's get one more card for Sagittarius for the end of November. Clarity on the King of Pentacles, divine guidance number 5, and career change. You are embarking upon a career change that brings you the joy and abundance you deserve and you desire. One more card for Sagittarius. 25. I feel like, you know, I see the dove, and then I feel like it's an illusion, or like, you know, jumping through hoops. You know, like, I think of the magician, but like, I think of the magician upside down a little, like somebody pulling the rug out from under you, or pretending that they're, yeah, maybe that was this situation, you know, pretending to have wisdom, to have truth. I feel like that's that nugget of discernment here. You know, not everybody that has the dove, even though it's ironic, I guess, because I'm the dove. I have the ultraviolet dove, but, you know, I'm not perfect either. And I feel like a good teacher in the end with this Hierophant doesn't really tell you what to believe. They just open the doorway for you to go in the library and discover it for yourself. They don't lock anything up away. You know, that's where either, you know, there's something juicy behind the door, but maybe something not right on the premises, you know. So I feel like everything should be open and free. You know, just like our minds, so that we can put things together, so that knowledge that was perhaps only in one book before, in one corner of the world before, can now be read by the whole world and compared to something from another corner, and now you see that they're similar or different, or there's nuggets of truth within them. So, you know, the divine guidance points you towards you finding your own way and your own truth and busting through illusions. That's what I'm getting. It's 25. So that's also a 7. So that's spiritual, like a spiritual journey, and understanding what's right for you, what's not right for you, what's bullshit for you, what's truth for you, what feels, you know, like it's real, and what feels like you just like that was a trick. That was a trick, you know. Rings. I don't know why, I just thought of the rings of Saturn for some reason when I saw that. That was sort of weird. Saturn, time, restrictions, something like that. Maybe like something bound, something maybe protected, but maybe not completely exposed, you know, something like that on a cycle. All right, let's go to the book. 25 for Sagittarius. And that, well, that's misleading, illusion, and confusion. So not being sure what to believe, but that experience and that deep sense of knowing is within you. You don't find it outside of you. It resonates inside of you. And you still have to be open inside of you for things to change and grow and let new things in. You know, if you have an opinion on one way from what you experienced or believed or know or knew, and, you know, a doorway opens up and it just changes everything that you believe because of what you've now learned, you have to be open to that change. And usually there's like time to adapt and figure it out and seeing it a different way, and then getting used to it, and then usually the door busts open again, you know. So do not be misled by what you see around you, or be influenced by what you see. You live in a world which is a playground of illusion, full of false paths, false values, and false ideals. But you are not part of that world. Sia Baba. What we experience and how we interact is often indirect and from a distance. Physical interaction that would normally have provided all of our senses an opportunity for feedback and assessment is now increasingly being replaced by virtual alternatives. From email and texting to social networking, our relationships are becoming increasingly defined by virtual interaction that can distort and substitute reality. I just heard, I heard culture and I went blank, age gap, like generations, you know, that generation gap in communication. And I hear like slag or lack, or how it drags down the different generations. Not drag that. Maybe that was a Freudian slip there. I'm feeling like the older generations, you know, don't do it as much, you know, have a little, you know, maybe they're tech savvy, but for the most part they learn their phone or whatnot and do the simple things, and that's it. And then as the generations go down to the younger generations, they know how to do everything that comes up, and make apps and do all these things, that it's almost like the lag, or the, like, I don't know why, I don't think it's lack, but I feel like it's the other way. Like the younger generation has like almost like more going for them than the older. So there needs to be some kind of merge. I'm not sure what I just said there. I hope that was helpful. But, you know, maybe it's just sitting down eye to eye and having conversations again, and turning off your phone and not looking at something else. You know, actually paying attention to what you see so you don't miss something before your eyes. So you're not, you know, so it's not an illusion. So you know who you're with. So you know about yourself even. We can, that can distort and substitute reality. We can now create multiple new identities. How do we go about quantifying, I guess, quantifying people and events is now increasingly based on new paradigms, can't say that, and that can now provide a false perspective both for viewed and viewer alike. So you never really know what you're looking at. Is it my fancy lights that you see here? You know, if you see me in the sunlight, do I look the same? No, probably not. My mom doesn't even think I look the same when I wake up to like later in the day to, we all look different all the time. You know, when it comes down to it, we're all real. We all have flaws. You know, we all have mess ups. We all have things that we believe that aren't true because we believe whoever told us that or what we learned. So it's just gaining wisdom as we go and learning to discern what's good for you and what's right for you. But it's taking off that mask, you know, between you and others and what you see and what is real and what you can touch and what's in the glass, and coming back to reality a little bit, you know, to really feel inside of yourself and I want to say compare a little bit to what's outside of here and really tune into how it makes you feel, Sagittarius. You know, so you can really head towards something of stability, you know, and not towards illusions. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Your reading was a little bit longer than the other ones. I hope you have a beautiful month. I love you and I'll see you soon.